If I was to look at this, and let's change this to just a single chart and look at the Dow. And I'm going to pull up again the Dow Mini. Okay? Take a look at where I have support and resistance on this chart. This is just a continuous contract of the Dow Mini. I like the Dow Mini because one, I trade it, and two, it gives me a 24-hour chart rather than the more stilted movement of the Dow index itself. I mean, I could pull this up, but it's not going to have the same smoothness if I go intraday that the Dow Mini would have. Okay, but you can see here, again, a continuous contract. I've got some ceilings and floors here on the Dow, don't I? No doubt about that. Could that correlate into ceilings and floors on the dollar yen? Well, having just looked at the sympathetic movement, that's probably a pretty good guess, no? Well, what's happening on the Dow right now? Again, it's the dollar yen, and we're going to open, the market's going to open here in about 9 minutes. And currently, the dollar yen and the Dow are going to be indicated to move, well, number one, the dollar yen's already lower by about 72 pips. Not a lot. It's not a huge move lower, but it's certainly weaker. Now what's that moving sympathetically with? Well, right now, the Dow is down 78 points pre-market. Okay, we were finding resistance here at this ceiling right there that I drew in. And this ceiling is based upon action we saw back on the 20th of this month, 20th of October. I'm also getting a ceiling put in by the bottom line of my wave, as you can see here. So there's resistance at the 34 EMA on the low. All right. What else is in this area? Well, price-wise, I'm very close to 93.00, aren't I? Okay. So what's the sympathetic relationship I'm seeing on the dollar yen? Now remember, let's look at a 30-minute chart of this Dow. This is not a weak market. I mean, 70 being down 70 or 80 points in the Dow is really nothing. Consider we can see 400 point swings on this market, but it is weaker, right? So you're going to see that sympathetic, slightly weaker, very similar look on the dollar yen as well. Is it significantly down? No. But if the dollar yen is to move lower, it's going to be based upon likely what we're going to see in terms of any kind of sustained weakness on the Dow. So we're going to, like I said, open here in about 5-6 minutes. We're going to open probably down 70-80 points. And then what happens, and let's think about this for a moment, because the dollar yen and the Dow's relationship does incorporate a few very significant times that we have to keep an eye on. Okay? So as a Dow mini trader, I know that the 9:30 open is that volatile time. So I got that 9:30 open. So 9:30 is going to be in turn a time to watch the dollar yen. 9:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time becomes one of the first reversal points. That's really the beginning of the end of the clearing. And that goes to about 10 a.m. Again, Eastern Standard Time. These are all Eastern Standard Time. Okay? My next reversal is going to be at 10:10. Now, this might seem a little odd to be thinking of these very short-term times in relation to the dollar yen, but these are all potential reversal times based upon the stock market clearing moves of the dollar yen. The market opens at 9:30. So there's that burst of volatility as all these orders get executed. That's the clearing. The first 20 to 30 minutes of the day, every day, is the clearing. The opening does by no means indicate the overall direction of the entire day. In fact, you can split the session up into the morning and the afternoon. What happens before lunch and what happens after lunch might as well be two separate sessions. So we have to keep that in mind. What happens after lunch, any kind of strength or weakness we see going into the bonds closing at 3 p.m., going into the market closing at 4 p.m. is certainly going to affect what happens in the Asian market, 3-4 hours later.